Hey everyone, welcome to Clash from the Past. I gotta go drop my daughter off at school. We got a late start today. It's because it's cold as ball sacks here in Minnesota. And when I come back, I got a bowl of Frosted Flakes waiting for me. But I got some time now to talk some Clash, so let's do it. The title of today's video is Battling the Blitzkrieg. Now, for those of you who might not be up on your World War II history, Blitzkrieg was a style of offensive warfare employed by the German army. It involved a lot of troops, heavy vehicles, and speed. It was very effective and also scary to the others on the other side. Now, I mention this just to say that in a 2v2 game, especially with the number of cards involved, this is the type of offensive you might encounter. And when that happens, you have a bunch of different options. And I think you'll see all of them play out in this game we're going to take a look at. So let's open it up. All right, this game starts simply enough. My partner with their Hog Rider, which I don't mind, because we find out right there they got a Mega Knight and they got a Skeleton Army. Okay, so be it. We got beat there, we got information, no problem. Let's fall back and defend, which is what we're going to do. Now we see a giant skeleton. And we also get a sense too of how they might want to defend us. That's going to be heavy offensive with that Mega Knight, and then drop in the giant skeleton to hold off the attack. Even if the giant skeleton dies, we all know it's going to leave a giant present for us. And it's going to be able to successfully defend whatever we put to defeat their big card coming forward. Now, I would think at this point they don't have any more big cards, but just wait, because they do. And I bring in the giant. And it looks like they're in a crouch, but oh boy, they dropped their elite barbarians. Again, I didn't think they had those, but they do. And it takes the giant out like that. And behind it is the royal giant. Now at this point, I'm like, oh boy, let's take a sec and look at their decks, which we can do in retrospect. As you'll notice right here, they do have a lot of big cards. Now I did the math, and the average elixir on both these decks is 4.375, which is on the heavy side. I would argue that's about the upper limit of where you can be to be successful, but it's pretty clear that these two players, they know what they're doing, and more importantly, they know what they want to do. So the question that we have is, what are we going to do here? Because we're doing a great job of absorbing their offense and fighting them off in a stand-up battle. But in a stand-up battle, I don't think we're going to win this thing, because especially in the last minute of the game, when they can get their hands on more elixir, I think they're going to be able to push in on this one-sided battle. We could continue to battle them up front and maybe hope that we can get through, which we've been doing, because we're ahead right here. There's no doubt about it. But my thought is their left flank. I think we need to look there. It might not work, and it might be best just to stay in the right lane. But once again, I think they're going to be able to punch through. I'm going to try a few things here, and I might not be successful, partner, but I don't want to lose. Do you want to lose? No, so we're going to try. And as 50 Cent said, we're going to get rich or die trying. So, here's what happens. I try to hold a giant in reserve, which is hard to do because the giant's good in this space up on the right at the bridge. But instead of putting it up on the right, I'm going to try it on the left. I got my musketeer on the left, and I'm like, it's giant time on the left. And luckily, the timing of that golden knight works out great. But we got to push there. They use their little card to try and stop it, and we do have a problem on the right, but I think we can hold them for the most part, which my partner does a good job of doing. And even though that royal giant gets a bunch of hits in, our giant on the left did a good job too. And we've also reset on the right, which again, they're attacking, dropping, giant skeleton. It's just a repeat performance here. So I decide, okay, they're going to defend hard on the right. Let's do the giant again. Now, where do you think we're going to win this game? There's 206 on the right. You would think it would be the right, but that's the lane they're clogging up. And guess what? It's not the one that they're going to win on. It's going to be the left, which if I had told you halfway through the game, you probably wouldn't have believed me. We might have gotten in there on the right, but I like the fact that we spread the game out and increased our avenues and paths to victory. Because, in summary, if you're facing this Blitzkrieg type of offensive with heavy decks, especially this one, which is a Russian attack, drop and boom, you should absolutely meet them where the fight is. Take your punches and punch back, but you don't have to stay there. You don't want to let them roll you, but you have more options than they do. And The more you exploit those options, the more chance you have of spreading the game out and ultimately finding a way through. All right, well that's it for today. I got a date with some Frosted Flakes, and they're great. So I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for stopping by.